There is a sense of calm felt when you leave Denver and are quickly engulfed in green. The smell of hay and horse pastures, white pelicans, mountain vistas through wide open fields. These scenic treasures define the community of Cherry Hills Village. However, with the Denver metropolitan area now exceeding 2.1 million people and recent estimates of an additional 2 million people over the next 18 years, these scenic areas are threatened. In Cherry Hills and throughout the region, ever-increasing development is crowding out wildlife habitat and natural open spaces. The Cherry Hills Land Preserve was formed to preserve and protect these natural open lands that sit as an oasis in the middle of the Denver metropolitan area.
Preserving this land and the Highline Canal is not just for their neighbors and for their backyard, but for this regional amenity that so many people can utilize because the canal weaves right through this beautiful community.
To be that close to an urban corridor and yet have this real bucolic, feel to the community, and that's why people live here. That's why I live here.
Cherry Hills Village has a rich history of residents with a deep commitment to the intrinsic value of this tranquil land. Those who grew up here and who already live here know the feeling.
I think when you live on some land that you really love, you hate to think that when you go, it's going to be divided up into lots and be a development. I didn't like it in New Jersey, and I wouldn't like it here. I really like this place, and I really would be sad to see if they flattened everything and made it into lots.
I think that it is important that we have parks here for open space. It just gives us a bit of area there where natural things can be. To me, it's a breathing space. I think that's very worthwhile, very, very worthwhile.
I feel like people really care about living here, and as a result, they take care of it and they respect other people. And I feel proud to have been raised here in Cherry Hills Village, and I'm hoping that my children will feel the same. I'm hoping to build that, that sense of appreciation. But it's a beautiful place to live. I mean, and it was beautiful then. It's certainly still beautiful now. We're really lucky.
The Cherry Hills Land Preserve is working to put together coalitions of funders and partnerships to ensure resources are available to pay the appraised value of these lands. This is no small feat in a community with high property values. When you look at the multi-acre parcels of undeveloped land in Cherry Hills Village, it is clear that these natural lands are immensely rare in any community so close to a metropolis the size of Denver. Cherry Hills is immediately adjacent to numerous densely populated neighborhoods. Just look at the Swedish Medical Center area north of Hampden and Clarkson. Further east along Hampden, the Highline Canal traverses south through Denver's Eisenhower Park area, jogs through Welshire Golf Course, and then reemerges in Cherry Hills Village. This greenway is a path for Denver residents, leading to spectacular open spaces and trails with unobstructed views of the Front Range. For many users of the Highline Canal and other village trails, this is the closest opportunity they may have to experience these views and fields in their natural state.
The Cherry Hills Land Preserve has been so involved in the Highline Canal Working Group. I've been so impressed with how much effort and time that they have put in to be able to bring people together, to have the vision to improve and to actually change what we're doing with the Highline Canal and to work together to improve this immense resource that we have.
The incredible attributes that we have in our village, our trails, our trail system, the open space, that rural open feel that you get when you're walking, it's very easy to take it for granted and to think that it'll always be there.
We have not undergrounded, the waterways. We're part of a larger watershed, and we have these wonderful gulches running through our village.
Large-scale conservation, it's always about the interconnectivity. And sometimes we forget locally that connectivity is just as vital on a smaller scale than it is on these larger landscapes.
From a bird's eye view, these parks and open spaces are like stepping stones along the Highline Canal. But in Cherry Hills, much of what we cherish is not protected forever. The community and visitors have come to love the wide open expanses of many large, privately held fields and other treasured sites. Generational transfer of these village landmarks have already caused much development. But through the work of the Cherry Hills Land Preserve, we will protect and enhance what remains. The Land Preserve plays a critical role in land conservation in this area. It is through their hard work and partnerships that the issue of connectivity along the Highline Canal from Denver south and into Cherry Hills Village has become a focus.
A group like the Cherry Hills Land Preserve fills a very real void in the city's capabilities, and therefore they fill in and serve a role that the city is not capable of performing.
It's better to have a local land trust involved. It allows to help leverage other funding, and we have a great state in that there's so much funding for local conservation. And it all starts really with the local level and really with the local nonprofit.
And this is a landscape here in Cherry Hills that will change. It'll change dramatically. The economic factors and pressures on this community are such that we have an opportunity right now with Arapahoe County funding, with the City Council being well positioned to support us financially, and potentially even GOCO, Great Outdoors Colorado monies coming to us, that we have an opportunity to preserve some of the cherished landscapes that people for many years have felt were already public lands, but indeed they're private lands.
The Cherry Hills Land Preserve works toward its mission of land protection through community education and advocacy, as well as fundraising and landowner education. Our fall barn tour has highlighted the history and value of these lands to many newer residents of the village.
Property in our village is valuable to everybody. It's valuable to those people who would like to preserve it. It's valuable to those people who would like to develop it. And so putting the funding together takes a lot of forethought. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of thinking about what resources are out there. And we pride ourselves in being ready to do all those things.